We're playing casual blitz 5+3 against all challengers here. International Master William Paschall, Sladgie on Twitch, and Sparkle Horse here on lichess. I've only got one challenge. I think everybody thought I wasn't going to show up today. I'm a little bit late, but Fridays are a busy morning for me. Several other appointments, and sometimes we have to start maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes late. If that is the case today, we will never fail you. I will never not stream without leaving you guys a message or something like that. So if I'm a few minutes late, just hang in there. What's up, Mr. Coffee? Welcome to our subscribers. Mr. Coffee JCS, thanks for being here. I'm going to stream forever. What's up, guys? Astrobate's not here. I think he might have something on Fridays. What's up, Mr. Coffee? You have a tournament coming up this weekend, right? From what I understand. So we got Marwa actually waiting. No, he's gone. Dobosiuka challenged me to rate it 3.0. 3.0. Dobosiuka, I'm only playing 5+3 casual, so you got it wrong on 2 counts. No rated and no sudden death. Only 5+3. I'm going to cancel this challenge. You're packed up leaving in a few hours. I think you're going to be facing some hot weather. That part of the country, man. Alright. I'm happy I'm up here in New England. Okay, guys, let's get some challenges. 5+3, casual. I'm ready to get started. We got 2 hours. 2 hours and a quarter. Marwa challenged me 7+3. Ah, he got it wrong. We'll give him another chance. Let's let him know. Where's Marwa? He was asking if I stream. There we go. Alright. Quick on the uptake with Marwa there. He's very quick. 5+3, he corrected his challenge immediately. Okay, guys. Let's get started with E4. Astrobates might be asleep. It's true. It's very early for him. Pacific time. So, I wasn't sure if he had something he does on Fridays. Alright, we're talking about some of our regulars here. Everybody's welcome to play today. I'm just accepting challenges from everybody as I get them, as long as they adhere to 5+3 casual. Idyllic life. The other requirement is that people have like at least 50, let's say 50 games. I'm going to be lenient. I often say 100. What's up, S4? This stream is for you. It's really for you. Not only to encourage, like, you know, open challenges to everyone, but the idea of the Friday stream, doing it in the morning at 10 a.m. is so that the European players, you know, who maybe can't stay up late as my normal streams, can basically participate here. Now, I don't know the theory too much. I didn't know that Marwa played the black side of the Philidor, this so-called exchange Philidor. I do know that, like, the main line is supposed to be bishop e2, castles, f4, bishop f3. But I think last time I played g3, and I was sort of happy with the way that went. I feel like g3, it gives me a solid king side, and it also just overprotects my e4 pawn, as well as, like, discouraging d5 by black. So it just seems like an all-around good system for white. But I haven't really researched the theory on this. When you think about it, I shouldn't annotate so much. I'm used to doing the game analysis like yesterday. When you think about it, in this type of position, what you've got here is a Peert's defense, where black has sort of lost the tempo, so he hasn't gone like g6, bishop g7 yet. I'm very tempted to play b4, though it would weaken my queen side. He's got a lot of pressure on that e4 pawn. It is kind of annoying. Setting up that immediate pressure on my e4 pawn. I do have bishop g5, though. How does he deal with bishop g5? He would probably just play h6, and then bishop takes f6. I have no really good threats. Bishop g5 doesn't seem like good enough. Alright, let's try something else. He's playing insanely fast. Insanely fast. With now b5, risky move. This move, though, I felt like his knight was really hurting me on c5, so I'm actually not sad to see it go. But I need to play a little bit faster. I'm not warmed up yet. We have e5. Knight takes, nah. If I play knight f5, though, what am I really achieving here? He can go back to c5, renewing all of his threats and whatnot. Maybe we need to just exchange a set of pieces. It's no big deal. What would Magnus do? This relieves black's cramp very slightly, exchanging one set of pieces. But I think this was the right decision. I could have let him exchange on d4 as well. Taking with the pawn was not what I expected. Very tempted to play e5. There are some downsides to this, but it looks good. Bishop takes b7 wrecks his whole structure. I mean, how can this be bad for me? Always happy to trade a healthy pawn for a, an unhealthy pawn for a healthy pawn. And bishop d6, very solid looking. Now we need a new plan, okay? Knight e2, maneuvering. Opening up the bishop on b2, we got good structure. And Morwa is playing crazy moves now. King f7. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is king f7 about? I had a maneuver in mind here, which you guys can see. Wait, I just played knight c1. Yeah, there's multiple ideas. Problem is, like they say on the Muppet Show. What's up, everyone? e4. That's the move. That's the only move. The old guys on the Muppet Show say, problem is, who cares? Bishop takes f6 now. I don't want to give up my bishops here. Sack an exchange, man. Rook takes e4. Ooh, that looks juicy. This is pure speculation. I really shouldn't do this. I know better than to do this. But I can't help myself. I just can't help myself. Check first. This is the key. With attacking chances. Some attacking chances. And queen g6. This is queen g6, check. Is this my only move? Is this the best move? Should I play h4? I have to stop queen g5, it looks like. But the move's kind of slow. The problem is queen g6, queen g5 freaked me out. I might have missed something there. Maybe I had a clear win. I'm really not sure. We've got great compensation. A pawn for the exchange, a raging attack against his king. Now my queen's going to get trapped. Wait a second. Is my queen going to get trapped here? Then I don't like this anymore. Man. I guess I just have to lose the exchange to beat down the exchange and allow trade of queens. I didn't really want to trade queens here. I'll have to play this position. I'm not sure I have enough. Morwa defended this really well. I mean, queen h7 check, king f7. I had a very similar game recently where my queen was going to get trapped on h7. Now the same thing's happening. Queen h7 check, king f7, bishop d5 check, bishop e6. I guess I should have done it that way. I'm an idiot. That would have been better than trading queens. That would have been better than trading queens. Okay, very bad move to let him trade queens here. This was a huge mistake. All right. I admit I made a mistake. All right, now it's kind of a technical grind. I don't know who's better. I may not be better, but I might be okay. But I'm making mistakes. That's the point. We're here to make mistakes. All right, this move might be a mistake by him. I thought he should have played like bishop f5 there. Try to trade pieces. He missed a golden opportunity to try to trade pieces. Looks like best shot. I'm going to try to get a second pawn if I can. I've got f4 too. How's f4? He'll like bail out. f3. f3. What's wrong with bishop d5 check? He's so fast, it's unreal. So now, what am I doing? I mean, I think f4 is even playable. It's like a draw or something. All right, man. First game, I'll give you a draw if you want a draw. He's not accepting a draw here. Now he's asking for it. Okay. f3. Man, I don't know about this move. Keeps coming up with moves. How is he so much faster than me? Oh, he doesn't have to commentate. That's important. An important advantage. Okay, bishop takes. Rook e3. Well, what am I doing? I'm just losing. Oh my god. Alright. Not awake yet. Marois took advantage of me, man. He's in France. He's awake. Man. His rating is 1977. What happened? I just fell apart. I just ruined my whole position. Oh my god. Now I'm like losing. I'm gonna lose. This is a disaster. Man, he played hanging on tough. Good defense. Winning, now we're losing. We're winning, then we're drawing, then we're losing. This is really bad. A bad way to start the stream. It's alright. Credit to our opponent. 1977. Why is his rating so low? He was like almost 2200 before, wasn't he? He was close to 2200. The Ancient Gamer. What's up, guys? Man, I really didn't have time to play any warm-up games. I'm looking bad here. Man, we had everything. What is he doing? He didn't play e4. Now, it makes you wonder, what's going on here? So I can't take the pawn right away? Or can I? We have to try. But which way? Now there's some practical chances for survival. It's almost like he's trying to torture me. Black should be winning, but there's still practical hope. I really wanted to keep that. Really wanted to keep that bishop on the board. Where do I go now? Right, knight g6 check, and knight f4. Wow. Letting me survive again. Guess this is a really winning position for black. Or staying alive. His speed is unbelievable. Man. He never actually thinks on his moves. He just sort of moves instantaneously without having to think. I don't know how you do that. I feel like there's an obligation to think. Man, this is going to be tough. How does he move so fast? What is his bullet rating? Very well played by black. Do I have lag or something? No. What does he do? Like, he pre-moves? How does he pre-move without knowing my move? It's really weird. He's made a lot of mistakes, but he never makes big mistakes, just little ones. We got some counterplay maybe against the G7 pawn. Wow, this is crazy. What's truly going on here? Tricky situation still. He definitely didn't play the best. Okay, what am I doing? How about some counterplay with that pawn? I have another passed pawn. Wow. Alright, I'll take a draw here. We survived. Yes, it feels like accomplishment. Alright. I'm proud of my draw. Think I can win this? I don't think so. I mean, I could. It's possible, but I think objectively, like, the evaluation would be a draw. Yes, there are ways to win. He has more time than me. His outside pawn. That's a new word. His outside pawn is very, very dangerous. Panda like rook pawns. Ha. H pawn, A pawn. Good morning, guys. Thank you for the warm-up game, Mr. Morwa. Idyllic Life, Abel Fazl, come. I take back, Krasovsky, S4, and a new player here, New Haven. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to take that challenge. It's only 40 games. A brand new account. Maybe we'll try it. I'll probably get busted by a computer, though. He's like 2308 with 40 games. Likely to be a computer. lichess hasn't had time to catch up with him yet. Okay, I'm just speculating. Let's play knight f3. Where's the panda? The panda was here. What's up? The panda likes rook pawns. Oh, man. Nice fight, Morwa. How are you so fast? God, I gotta play faster. I need a second coffee, but I didn't have time to get it. You know, that's the problem. I would have been another 5 minutes late if I had to get a coffee. And I should have another coffee. Definitely. In order to play. So, Idyllic Life. Actually, I didn't check his statistics. He's legit. Alright. I just asked that everybody have, like, 50, 100 games in order to play. And that last guy was like 2308, 40 games, brand new account. Generally speaking, you're increasing the chances you're playing like an engine. If you play a brand new account who's rated 2300, he could be a legitimate 2300. It's rolling the dice. It's like 50-50. He's a master or he's not. Alright, castles. Maybe we'll give him a try, but he's breaking my rule of 50 games at least. Alright, rook fd1. Standard position. I don't like black playing for e5 so much against this bishop g5 setup. Man, I feel very funky. I am not awake at all. Even though I've been awake for 2.5 hours or longer. I don't feel it. That's the problem here. Rook takes. Could be asking for trouble, but at the same time, I normally take with a knight in this situation. I think this guy's just... blundered his d6 pawn. Though there could be a trap of some sort. I don't fully appreciate. No, he just was careless with the d6 pawn. Normal recapture there is knight takes. Man. I like my exchange sack against Morwa, but I did something that's kind of standard. A standard mistake. And that is like complicating the game when you have less time. I decided to sacrifice the exchange against Morwa, even though he had a significant time edge on me. This is probably not the best idea. Now what do I have? Knight b5. Does that do something? Actually, bishop f4 is also possible. Bishop f4. Doesn't really do anything. I mean, he can evacuate to b7, right? Which I figured. But we've got new ideas. Special plans. Knight g5. That's a massive cheapo. But I can also just play bishop f3, knight e4, and get my pieces through the center. So if h6, bishop f3, I mean, let's say, what does he play here anyway? Like rook b8, queen a6. I mean, there are no really good moves. Knight g5 feels very offsides, but I have to allow the possibility of bishop f3. What's up, guys? Mr. Coffee's here, JCS. For our morning stream, we're only doing this once a week on Fridays. Usually I'm streaming at 4:30 in the afternoon. I had a stable positional edge against Morwa. Yeah, I thought so. But then I kind of let it slip, you know, and then he had a lot of counterplay, and that's why I sacked the exchange. No, actually, I sacked the exchange later, when it started to get out of control. I sacked the exchange for this attack. Yeah, I had a really nice position in that game. True. But he's fast. It's a blitz game, you know. Okay, black's dropping pieces here. Idyllic life playing too fast. He's a strong opponent. He's already better than you think, S4? Definitely better than you. I'm not sure about that. I think you guys are both strong, but it's hard to compare different styles, you know. You play such a chaotic style game, and Morwa is more controlled. I feel like I have a tactic here, but I don't see it. Knight takes h7. Might win a pawn, but it's unnecessarily greedy. Let's just make Luft. Trying to get back rank, mated up a rook. That's a bad thing. When you get back rank, mated up a rook. Never too late to be careful. How can I get better in the endgame? Well, actually, Abou Fazl, yeah, I mean, the thing about endgames is that it's hard to play a lot of even endgames, really tough endgames, unless, you know, you're already like 2000 or 2100. You start playing strong players. You have to have games that go into long games with endgames with equal material to get a lot of experience, and I think a lot of players just don't get practical, you know, chances to do that. So it's really necessary to, what I'm trying to say is that it's really necessary to study endgames from books and stuff like that. Excuse me, guys. Every time I have a stream, there's some kind of insane landscaper cutting down trees and stuff. Alright, so h3, we're going to win this one. Your style does not go anywhere if I meet someone who can refuse my crazy moves. Well, I think you just need to tone it down a little bit. I mean, if you play those king, it's not so easy, you know, especially when you're white, S4. Sometimes you go a little too far. Sleman says the Dvoretsky Endgame Manual is pretty good. There's a lot of older books, you know. I like Fine, not Fine, but Curious' Practical Chess Endings. I don't even know if that's still in publication. It's like an older endgame book, but I use that a lot. In the old days, they had this Encyclopedia of Chess Endgames, which a whole series of encyclopedias on endgames. From Chess Informant, which is probably out of print too. I'm sure they're still around though. I mean, the thing about endgame books is that endgames aren't like openings. You know, the theory doesn't change that much. Like, they can make corrections and stuff like that, but I'm just going to trade down here. I mean, in endgames, things don't change. Endgames are endgames. You know, more information is discovered. You know, this is probably some new ideas, and some better quality books have been written. But the classic endgame books still remain very good. John Nunn had a lot of great endgame books. I mean, these books like the Dvoretsky endgame book are marketed very heavily now. But if you look for older endgame books, there's tons of great books you can find. Okay, they're not as well, you know, published, as pretty, you know, as well organized. All right, guys. Abulfazl is next. Let's make sure all the challenges are casual. But it's been highly regarded. Dvoretsky was a great trainer, and he passed away last year. I think that you get a lot in the packaging and the organization of this kind of book, you know. Smoother reading, more well organized. D4. All right, what are we going to play here? You play against a 2200 player. I get a good position, but I get destroyed in the endgame. It's so depressing. Can I do a take back? Because this was a mouse slip. Sorry about that. If it was a rated game, I would never ask for a take back. But since we're playing casual, and since the point is, you know, to play some instructive games, I'm going to ask you for a take back here. That's my first mouse slip for a while, honestly. That was a bad one. G5, just losing a pawn. It's a very bad grob when you play it against D4. Not a good idea. The 100 Endgames You Must Know is a very good book. I don't know that book. Can you tell me the author for that book? I mean, chess players are constantly trying to write new books. I mean, most of my endgame books are old school. For beginners, there's like Silman's Endgame Course. I don't know the exact title, but that had fairly good reviews. Dude, there must be so many endgame books. I mean, it has to be. Not as many as on the openings. But it's by De La Villa. Okay. I played him once in Spain. It was a draw. Don't remember the game, really. Jesus de la Villa. So C5, D5 here. We're playing a Benoni. I don't know what else I'm going to do, but I could transpose to a King's Indian. I don't remember ever playing... Well, actually, Abulfazl, this is a guy who has, like, he's had, like, 5 different accounts. Merrill Dixon, thanks for... Yeah, thank you. Thank you for subscribing, man. So I keep playing this player, Abulfazl Nazemi, but he keeps making new accounts, so I can't see, like, my previous games against him. This is, like, his 5th account with a similar name. So I have no idea, like, how many games we've played. I mean, Merrill Dixon, what is up? Good to see you with the zombies. The zombie hugs. All right, so G3. That's a move I've never seen in this position before. Usually a solid kingside for white against the Benoni. I could transpose to a normal type of Benoni after knight f6. I was just thinking, maybe there's some way I can take advantage of it. Soltigo. Good day. What's up, man? Trying something a little different with a knight e7. Let's kind of mix it up. It gives us the ability to play for f5 breaks more easily, obviously, than with the knight on f6. This would be one of our key resources in this type of position. But I don't play the black side of the Benoni very often. You have to, as a King's Indian player, play Benoni types of positions oftentimes. But I'm not that familiar with the proper Benoni. This is interesting what he's doing here. So knight g2, discouraging. He's discouraging me from playing f5 because the e6 square will be so weakened. So I get in b5. I mean, that's probably a good thing. Classic Benoni play on the queen side. This is definitely not a theoretical type of position. Can someone explain the emote? The Sladgie God mode? I don't know. That's our main emote here. You wrote it in Italian because no one believes. What was that? You wrote what? Saul, what are you talking about? No explain. We're putting Mr. Sparklehorse as a meme. Guys, I'm accepting 5+3 challenges, as many as I can play in 2 hours. What time is it now? A little over 2 hours for the stream. F4, okay. Now I could possibly consider playing F5 because there's no knight dropping in through F4 and E6. I don't want to get, like, wrecked here. He has dynamic chances as well. This could get very scary if he plays F5, something like that. Drive his knight away from the center. I was expecting knight A4, but this move has some logic to it. Now I probably need to do something here while I have some control over the position. Knight C4 will be an issue at some point. There's also F5 for him. So I'm thinking F5, E5, pawn takes pawn, D6. Very dangerous piece sacrifice. So I have to be careful. I'm very worried about E5 as a pawn sack. E5 and F5 for white. Very strong. And we tried this. Queen B6 with C4 check ideas. Trying to play dynamically. This is very risky. He's 1732. Man. One idea I have is bishop A6. Another idea is obviously C4 check. And yet another idea is that the queen out here could protect laterally. In the event of crazy stuff hits the fan here with E5, my queen could protect things like the knight coming to C6. You would have played... If I would have played F5, I mean E5 is a very dangerous pawn sacrifice here. Because after pawn takes pawn, D6, I don't have anywhere to put my knight. That's a big, big issue. Maybe I can play knight G8. Maybe I should try that. You know, play F5 and the knight G8. I didn't really go that far. But perhaps that was better. That's the key question. Abelfazl's using a lot of time here. I was thinking I could play C4 and like knight C5, but this is dangerous for me. Everything is dangerous. He could play F5, but he doesn't really have a threat if he does that. And he can play E5, but I can probably take it in this position. So he doesn't really know what to do. He can also play knight D2. And then I was thinking bishop A6. One of my plans with queen B6. Yeah, the using of 5 different accounts is kind of weird. Well, I don't think he's using 5 different accounts. I think he keeps making them and then getting new ones. So he's not using 5 accounts simultaneously. Not an account abuser in that sense. So the thing about F5, he doesn't have the fork here. So he's just making kind of a sensible move. But what do I do next about this F5 business? Now I've got problems with that situation. Knight G8. Strange as this might seem, I'm going to go back here and play it like a normal Benoni. You know, try to recirculate before it's too late. Very counterintuitive. I don't know if I have time for this, but we're going to try to get away with it. I was talking about knight G8. Now I got the idea to play knight G8. Okay, he's going nuts on me with G4. Well, that's a whole different ball game now. So knight f6, g5, knight g4. I mean, okay. I guess he could play h3. What am I going to do there? Now I have to play h6. If g5, knight g4 I thought was good for me, but maybe not. Now g5, knight h5, f6 is a problem. I could put my knight on another square, but I don't want to get my bishop buried. So if I go here, I've got problems. I could take his bishop, or rather take his guy on e2, but that's also problematic. So I might have some serious issues here. Alright, we're going to try something crazy. I have knight g4, sacking a piece. So I'm going to go here. My bishop is like trapped now. This was a bad idea. Maybe I can play like bishop f8 or something. Not a lot of other choices. This looks pretty dubious for black. I've got h6, but I don't know how I'm going to get out of this bind that I'm in. It's really weird. $1,700. Knight g4 was recommended. Well, I got serious problems with my bishop on f8. I'll have to sacrifice a piece at some point to break out, it looks like. Here I have this. Now I can sacrifice a piece, maybe? Bishop takes e2. He lost on time. Is he like winning here? He's actually worse, according to Engine. That's amazing with my bishop on f8. I thought I'm worse here. I'm surprised. Wow. I mean, I'm basically playing without my bishop on f8, so I'm really surprised here that black is better. That's weird. I totally didn't have confidence in this position. We got a challenge there. That's an interesting challenge from H.H. Khan with the what is that? That's not chess. Okay, let's play chess, you know? I mean, I don't know. 1 minute isn't really chess, and the half a minute definitely isn't chess. So you want to just move the pieces back and forth real fast. That's not chess. That has no relation to chess whatsoever. So d4. Let's try something different. I never play d4, d5. Queen's Gambit accepted. An opening I always wanted to play, but I never really got the hang of it. But it feels more... I like the freedom of having an open position. The Queen's Gambit declined is kind of passive. Alright, I was looking at this with one of my students the other day from White's perspective. E6 is a little safer. Is a little bit safer move. I had an interesting idea here. Check. This is a kind of rare line now. I've got to be very careful about like Queen b3. Evans Gambit type of threats against f7. I think I saw with the computer an interesting line here. Knight f6, knight c3. Sorry, knight c3, knight f6. I'm dyslexic. I don't play Crazy House. I mean, maybe I did years ago, a couple of games. Now, Queen e7, maybe? What do I do here? I just exchange pieces? That seems kind of lame. Queen e7. Now, Queen e7 looks interesting. Let's do that. Probably you shouldn't play openings that you don't know that well, but I'm doing this for experimental purposes. And it's fun, you know, it's fun to play openings that you don't normally play. Kotoatsu, I'm not going to try to say it. Anyway, Tsukami is like, your bullet is 300 points higher than Blitz. It's not chess, it's another thing, man. It's cool, but it's not for me. I'm not trying to diss bullet chess completely. I just don't think it's chess. It's another It's like a variant, you know, if you want. Okay, dude. Are you just winning a piece here with queen a4 check, or is it my imagination? I have a defense there. You see, the problem is queen a4 check, knight c6, d5. Bishop takes d2 check, knight takes d2, queen b4. And I was like, oh my god, what's happening? Bishop b5 or bishop b3. Bishop b5, queen takes b2. That can't work. No, d takes c6, queen takes a1. I don't know. I have 99% certainty that queen a4 is extremely strong for white there. So I feel very fortunate to have avoided that for the moment. White probably still has an advantage here. But let's try knight c6. Is that good? That doesn't feel right either. Okay, let's stick with the plan. I'm just going to take the pawn. Man, this is a really bad opening for black. This is really bad. Not as bad as it could have been. You know, queen a4 check. Man, I think that just did me in. And he's not from Sweden, despite what we thought earlier. Last week, I don't know, I had this sudden spastic idea that the Norwegian flag was the Swedish flag. So we're just slightly worse, in a very unpleasant position. I'm very glad that I played this against him. You know, you figured, okay, maybe he won't be a specialist in the Queen's Gambit accepted. But apparently he is. Please read my previous donation. Your previous bit donation, whoa. Saul, can you re-challenge to 5+3, please? Please, no, that's not the one you're talking about. What am I missing? The second time in a row I've donated bits as an important message, and Will misses it. I saw this 5. Please note that Saul is second or third on the list. Thank you. Thank you, Saltigo. I'm sorry. Saul is second or third on the list. Okay, he dropped down. And I know it's late for him. See, I'm just trying to get you to donate more bits, Saltigo. You don't understand, man. H3, luckily, is a very slow move for white. You know, so I feel like now I'm okay. Whereas I think at one point my position was rather worse. Now black is simply equal. Pass pawn 99, what's up? So thank you for the 5 bits, Saltigo. No need to do that. Just type in all caps or no. Actually, if you type in all caps, Saltigo, will you get flagged by Mubot, or does he let you? Because as the administrator, as the moderator, like, you should really be allowed to type all caps. If anybody, it's me or you, should be allowed to do that. Now, come, who I haven't played that many games with, goes castles queenside. Now I'm like, oh, maybe H3 wasn't such a stupid move. He's going psycho on me. All caps from Chi. He got away with it. How can you do that? Yes, so just use a lot of exclamation points and caps, Saltigo. I don't know. I mean, I guess I need to develop my pieces here. I wanted to play c6, etc., but it just feels kind of slow. I'm not bringing any pieces out if I play c6. Queenside castles exclam. That is an awesome move, dude. I didn't think you'd have the guts to do that with the open file and all that stuff. Actually, I was asleep at the switch, right? No, he was smart. I mean, if he castles kingside, I'm playing like rook d8. Castles queenside, though he doesn't have that much pawn cover over there. That's kind of an interesting and aggressive approach. I like it. Ponda would like it for sure. Where's the Ponda? Nice move, castles queenside. So, alright, we got to act fast here. I'm a little creeped out by this position, honestly. I'm going to trade pieces, or try to, at least. The bishop on c4 pretty dangerous. White is possibly still better, and the h3 turns out to be a dangerous attacking plan. I thought, oh, he's just playing like a lame move. You know, everybody castles kingside in this kind of position. Now I'm like, oh no. But guys, don't type in caps. I just wanted to see if Saltigo had the ability to do that. Rather than donating your bits, you can probably just type all caps with 17 exclamation points, Soltigo, and I'll notice it. Alright, man. My position is still lame. Pawn takes. The outside the box club. Pawn takes is worth considering, but this is more solid. It pressures the A2 as well. So he by trading pieces, I'm kind of equalizing. I wondered if he could play not to trade pieces. I think bishop e6 was a good move by me. He could have played g5 though. That looks like a quality try. Actually, where am I going on g5? I'm taking his bishop. I'm winning a pawn. Never mind. He can't do that. Okay, bishop e6 was a good move by me, if I do say so myself. Now we're headed back. What's up, guys? Alright, f4. Man, there's like incredible grinding noises outside. h6 will weaken my own king side. That's good. Why don't I just play rook d8 and trade everything? How about this first? So if e4, h6, and if rook e1, then I have rook d8. And you'll have to make an uncomfortable recapture, like on d1 with a queen or knight or something. I don't know. His pawns could be a little bit weak here. Now, I don't know. This is going to be chaos. So rook d8 is another move. h6, e5. Did I underestimate this? Probably. Man, we could have miscalculated something else. Something not the first time. h6, e5. What do I do? Take it. He takes on f6. I take on f6. Then he takes on g5. And my king is a little bit open. I don't like this. Uh-oh. Man, I'm not liking this. I don't really have a choice here. I don't like this at all. Nice job. Knight takes e5 doesn't work. Knight takes g4 looks fatal. I have to do this. Have to take with the queen, and now white is better again. Those dangerous pawns, and no particularly great place to put my queen in this situation. That's my biggest problem. Where do I put it? On g6, it's just in the path of the oncoming pawns. e5, I guess, or e6, e5. I guess I have to put it on e5, but it doesn't look great there either. g6, maybe g6, maybe e6, g6, h4. I don't know. White is definitely better here. Equal material, but I feel like I'm worse. He's got very good control of d5. There's the f file. There's the pawn avalanche over here. I have to find a good square. Well, actually, the endgame with the queens off, I think white is still a tiny bit better, but I probably feel a little more safe if the queens are exchanged. I was going to play queen a5, but the opportunity to trade is solid. So I have my experience in the endgame. Abul Fazl will attest to endgames not being easy against master players. White's lost his initiative. Don't be sorry. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Sorry for taking so long to answer you there, Soltigo. What am I doing exactly? Man, I had the insane hallucination now. Alright. I had a crazy hallucination. Really weird. For some reason I thought like the B pawn wasn't there and I could check him on A2 and like play queen A1 check. I've never had any kind of crazy hallucination of that magnitude. You know what? It's coming down to a blitz struggle here. Who's really better and why? I guess this is a draw. Let's just off for a draw. Looks like a draw to me, man. Nice game. You were much better. Final position I'm not worried about. You know, I thought I was a tiny bit better here, but I was going to lose on time. So I have to not trade queens. I absolutely need to play queen c4 here. Queen c4, I was afraid of king b1, and I didn't see what I have. So this is the sick tactic, which I can't possibly see in time pressure. Knight takes a2. That was... Knight takes a2 with the fork here on e4. Nice game, man. Very solid play by white. Well, sort of. Solid at the end, risky in the beginning. Alright, no, it was good, man. The queenside castles was a great move. Queen a4 check, does that just win in the opening? You got a new computer, Soltigo. You finally have a mouse. Wow, you're officially out of retirement. How long have you been playing without a mouse? Nice job there with the draw. Okay, I have excuses. Built-in excuses. I don't know how to play the Queen's Gambit. Accepted. Let's play a King's Indian. We'll stick to something I know. Alright. Let's play Grunfeld. Another opening. I said I'm going to stick to something I know. I sort of know the Grunfeld. I get bored of playing the same openings. 2 years with no mouse? That's insane, dude. So Grunfeld. I don't know if I ever played this against Takeback. I don't play the Grunfeld very often. It was an opening that was in my repertoire when I was younger, but I never really played it at the master level. Maybe an obscure couple of games. It's an opening I have huge respect for, though. I think the Grunfeld is like one of the best openings. The reason why I stopped playing it, you know, the theory is just immense. It's like the Najdorf. Being a favorite of Fischer and Kasparov made this like one of the most popular openings in the world. You should send the challenge. Oh, Chi. We're taking all the challenges, not just the subscribers today. I got some strong players coming up. New Haven. 2300 apparently. What's up with that? He's got 1500 and something? No. Alright, bishop e3. That's a topical move. I'm supposed to play c5 always, right? He ends up playing like one of the lines that I know the least. Bishop e3, queen d2. This is something of a main variation played by Kasparov. Somewhere in my memory banks, I know things about the Grunfeld, even variations that I don't play myself with white, but my depth of theory isn't very, very deep, and I don't think it's very precise. I mean, I'm pretty sure queen a5 is like the main line. I've also been playing with white a lot of sort of Grunfeld reverse type of things with white, so I think that I feel comfortable with the structure. Bishop c4 now. That seems odd. You're like mixing two different systems with bishop c4. So I can just exchange and have a good endgame, I guess. At the very least. I would assume. This is not the only way for me to play, but it's certainly a safe way. And then knight c6 probably doesn't hurt. His king isn't really stable here, and then he can play rook d1. There are some questions about my move order, most likely. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. Rook hd1. I mean, yeah, it's natural to get the rook off the c-file, but I want to tuck the king away on e1 here. So now I can play rook d8. Should give me some play. Don't forget Saul is after, okay. Saul is after Kristakov. After Krasovsky. Krasovsky, it's all the same. Alright, they're grinding tree stumps across the street. It's extremely loud. That's my excuse. Right. Well, anyways, I mean, I could play even e6 here. Bishop takes c6, b takes c6, rook takes c6. Bishop a6. Or we can try something more fluid. Let's play this. Does this make sense? Bishop d7? I don't know. What would Paschall Friday do? Knight b4. It doesn't do anything like knight b4. Knight takes d4. There's a crazy move. Knight takes d4. Bishop takes d4. Knight takes d4. e6. I don't know, man. There's all kinds of possibilities here. It's very difficult to make a decision for black. I was looking at straight up e6. Bishop takes c6. B takes c. With the idea of bishop a6, which is, even that's fine. Alright, whatever. I'm going to lose on time if I don't make a decision here. Don't provoke the bear. I just take the subscribers as they challenge me, man. It's very complicated. Too much for some people to understand. Anyway, white is giving up the white squared bishop, and I mean, I have some issues. You know, my bishop is kind of blocked in, but it also has that fantastic a6 square. So I was thinking, okay, we'll get it out to a6. We can indirectly hit the d4 pawn by taking out the knight on e2, and the other point is that rook takes c6, bishop b7. I snap the pawn on e4 with a good game. So we're probably okay here. I'm not sure that I'm better, but I'm probably not worse. There is one idea. I wonder about bishop f8 as an idea. You know, to go like c5. I don't have time for that. Yes! That is the best move. Definitely. So now what do I do? Rook b8, trying to get counterplay on the queen side. There's actually e5 now. Whoa. e5? Or bishop takes and e5 is even possible. e5. King moves, pawn takes d4. Doesn't look so good for me anymore. With his getting away. He's just getting away. I don't want to just passively defend, but I might have to, you know, if I have nothing better. Huh. Okay, let's try this. Confuse the issue a little bit here. Try to get some play. Rook b2. Not enough in and of itself. He still can't really take the pawn on c6 yet. And we're threatening rook b2. But again, a move that's not in and of itself such a big threat. However, if king e1, then rook b2, he might have some questions to answer. Okay, this is a surprise. Rook c2. Interesting. So bishop a6. Some really logical move, right? Now it's going to be kind of complicated. He gets away. I can try stuff like bishop b5. I don't really have a better idea. What I don't want to do is be passive. Bishop takes e2. Looks like white is better. We'll try this. And then he has knight c3. It's very complicated. We got our bishop outside the pawn chain, so to speak. Wow. Okay. Rook d2. Weird move. Okay, he's overprotecting his pawn. I mean, seems somewhat logical. What should I be doing here? Maybe e5. Just trying to drop a pawn or something. Just trying to drop a pawn. I'm a little concerned about it. I think I'm only playing for a draw here. We got good drawing chances. White has played this so solidly. E5 is almost certainly a mistake. But this move is a mistake as well, I feel, you know? Like, he should just take in that position. That's not what I meant by dropping a pawn here. He just keeps surprising me all the time. Maybe this. Not trading rooks. Man. Everybody's strong. Yeah, this in-between move. Now, if I play bishop takes e2, you take back, I play a check. I'm fighting for a draw in this position. And I hate playing bishop takes e2. But I don't have a choice, it looks like. Just down a pawn in the endgame. White played this brilliantly. Rook b4, rook a4, maybe? Hey, that might get mated almost, but not quite. There's some really scary variations, like king e2, rook b4. Actually, that loses immediately, right? To rook d8 check. Game over. I've got to be careful. That's not good. Yeah, we got to play rook a8. Rook a8. Also not that good. Rook b2 check. What? He just dropped a piece. Oh. Alright, that's a weird blunder. I think I'm in danger of losing here. The engine says I'm practically okay, but I don't think it's so easy. Like king takes e2, I discovered this was forced, rook a8, and this is basically where I left off. And I don't think this is such an easy position to save. Rook d7, and I was very nervous about this. It's like, it feels like I've got stuff. Rook c2 check, but he just plays rook d2. Maybe bishop h6. I'm fighting to hang on here, but he dropped a piece. I think I had a really good game earlier on. Okay, so Krasovsky's next. Then I'm going to play with Saul. Because Saul's challenge dropped down to the bottom. He was challenging earlier. There's more questions than answers about that last game, though. I mean, I feel like you misplayed the opening, but then I didn't have enough, like, really feel for that middle game in the Grunfeld that maybe, like, a regular Grunfeld player would have. Alright, we're just going to play our same variation again with bishop g5. The King's Indian with e4, the classical King's Indian. e4 is the best move, but it's leading to really, really close positions, and people tend to know them. Krasovsky is his King's Indian player. He's going to know those classical King's Indian lines, and it means that it's going to be a like really tough struggle. Here, maybe I don't have to react to knight e4 necessarily. This is a very strange line. Not really known by theory, I think. Alright, let's just do this. I mean, they often do bishop g4. I could play an endgame with the queen trade. That might kind of take the fun out of it for black, I would say. Okay, bishop f5. What's going on now? So Krasovsky, I'd never seen this actually recommended in a book. I have seen people do this, and what I'm wondering is, like, where do people come up with this variation for black? Like, where did you come up with this? Did you read this somewhere in a book? Because I've never seen the whole idea of, you know, whatever it is, like the move he played there, queen a5. I've never seen this actually. c6 and queen a5 against this. I've never seen it recommended anywhere. So I'm just wondering where people get this. Everyone just discovers the same thing themselves, or as far as I know, like c6 queen a5, it's not really a book line. I like the way that he exchanged the bishops, though. I think that's much improved. If he had just played knight takes c3, queen takes c3, without exchanging the bishops, white would still have more of an advantage. If you put this on an engine, probably white still has something here, but it's not much. One extra exchange really eases black's position a lot, reduces black's problems. Yeah, we're getting weird trolls today. So now I lost s4. There he is. s4 is next. Then New Haven, Geneza, Haberbaum, Zeba Live. Zeba Live plays like a grandmaster usually. Alright. Queen takes d3. I reserve the right to not accept any challenges from people who have less than like 50 games. I don't want to play. Maybe we'll make an exception for this guy. I'm curious. He's a 2300 from Russia. I hope it's not a computer. I hope he's just a legitimately strong player. I mean, it would be my pleasure. So e5. That move seems a little bit weird. Very aggressive move in solution. He's blocking his own bishop in a sense. He's going to play for like forks. I've got to get out. I mean, he could try to play f5. Double-edged move. Man, we're getting all kinds of weird stuff in the chat today. What's up, Asterbait? Is he here? Yeah, he's here. All right. So this looks like a blunder, but it may not be. It's like a trap. Bishop e7, rook e8, bishop takes d6, e4. Wins a piece, I think. But maybe not. There's a very long variation that's kind of cute. Let's check this out. Bishop e7, rook e8, bishop takes d6, e4, queen b1. Pawn takes knight, queen takes b7. There, unfortunately, it looks like I'm in trouble because... Wait, where's my bishop? It's on d6. His knight gets out on a6. Yeah. It was worth looking at, but it's not quite enough. What if I play queen b1 first? What if we switch the move order on him here? Okay, I thought he was talking about like King Crusher or something. Yeah, sounds interesting. I'll go to my local Burger King, take him on heads up, maybe later. Queen c7, good solid move. So at the end of the day, I'm scared of my bishop getting trapped ultimately. We got some interesting stuff though. Let's do this. Here, man. I'm going to have to play e4, it looks like, just to stop him from physically playing e4. I could have played e4 directly. Maybe that was simpler. Just go e4 here. I'm just changing plans like every minute. c5. c5 is interesting. Yeah. Alright, weird King's Indian. Yeah, that's interesting. So e4. Keeping this protected in advance, stopping him from pushing e4, f5, e4 rolling me. I really wanted to make like c5 work at some point. Alright. So this is risky for black too. I have like knight g5 now. That could actually be trapping my own pieces in a sense. This could get very complicated. Knight g5 drops my d4 pawn, but I've got a massive fork. But if knight g5, he just goes rook e8. So I don't think I can do that. He's just trying to trap my bishop, period. Yeah, it sounds like the wrong channel. Pawn takes pawn, knight g5. Maybe you should go to the ilovechess.com channel. Because I don't play chess on chess.com. I think it basically sucks. F5, knight G5. I don't know. Pawn takes pawn, C5. Nothing is working here. Let's go for this. Just go with it. We'll make it work with like D5. It's complicated. Man, we could try to take on F5 now. Maybe play F4. Play D5. He plays F4. Play bishop H4. I'm going to get my guy trapped. What am I doing? Should I play pawn takes pawn first and then D5? All right, let's try this. This is probably a mistake. Pretty double-edged. He wants to trap my guy. E takes F5. Yeah, rook takes. This is the problem. This guy is 50% against me. Knight F3. For lack of a better move, I have to go here. Now I've lost the initiative to some degree. Black's better mobilized. But if he does play E4, you know, he has to watch for this. And the positive side of what's happened here is that, you know, this whole issue with my bishop getting trapped is no longer a problem. So pawn takes would have been a whole different game in that position. He could sack an exchange. Okay, sack the exchange. It's reasonable. Pretty tricky and dangerous. Now, pawn takes pawn, bishop takes, queen D3, bishop takes A1, bishop takes D6 or something. Knight E5. Craziness. Calculating pretty far, but it seems okay for me. Queen D3 giving him a really dangerous passed pawn there. Okay, I've got a lot of different ways to do this. We can just play rook D1. That doesn't save the exchange, though. Queen D1. Queen D1. Looks solid. With the idea of taking on D6. Intermezzo. And then taking on A1. Black may be better here, though. My king is a little opened up by the double pawn. So is his king. I don't know. Dangerous position for both sides, honestly. Maybe I had a better move. I don't know. Was rook D1 really something? Maybe I had a crazy move there, rook D1. But he could just not even take on A1 in that spot. You know, I was going to do like bishop takes A1, rook takes D6, threatening rook takes G6 check. Queen D1. I'm just going to capture on D6 in intermezzo. Though I could simply take back on A1. Yeah, I don't know. Now he's going with a very aggressive idea here, sacking the exchange, but he doesn't have to do that. So knight E5. I mean, obviously, going to seriously consider taking that. And I'm probably okay. I'm a practical player. I think that he's got some threats. I've got to watch my king here. Rook E1. Okay, we're just barely okay. Looks like the king is okay, just barely. Time pressure is a big problem. So rook H5 right away. Check. I mean, the check looks strong. Why not check? Got all three heavy pieces active. I mean, he's got this sort of cheapo against H2, so I can't just ignore it, but I'm threatening mate now. Right? And there's the rook takes B7, which is... But it's not mate for me. I said I was threatening mate, but I lied. That's the problem. I lied about threatening mate. Not actually threatening mate. What am I threatening? I'm threatening to win his king in that variation. Man, what am I doing? Whoa. I just spaced that my rook was hanging. Wow. Okay. Now I'm just like 2 pawns down. Wow. That was insanely stupid. That was just so dumb. I mean, it's ridiculous. Both making tons of mistakes here. It's probably equal now. Terrible play by both of us in the end game. Now it's a draw. If I take the pawn on c4, let's see. The d6, I'm going to lose both. Alright, whatever. Yes, draw now. Good game and an interesting game. I mean, I don't know. The original exchange sacrifice, bishop takes d4. Very, very interesting. Not easy to find the best move here. Okay, I'm going to play s4, another tough player. Got a lot of draws today. Where's s4? Okay, guys, we started at a little bit late. At 10:15. I've got about another hour left in the stream. So s4 is strong. I think he can be had in the opening, though. In certain openings, he doesn't know. That was an exciting game. I like that, but I totally blundered hanging my rook on e8. That was obviously not the plan. All right, man. It's a little crazy with the 5+3. Here, Saul is playing what, Rogozin, but the proper Rogozin with bishop out on g5 should be pretty good for white. I mean, these lines really should be good. We'll transpose to something. The Vienna variation. Do I like e4, e5? Yeah, I mean, e4, e5 is the professional. It's the professional defense to e4. But I've never been a lifetime e4, e5 player. I tried to learn it. I've been trying to learn it like in my later life. I never played e4, e5 for the first, very rarely at least, in the first 20 years of my chess career. But I think there's a reason why it's becoming more widespread in modern Grandmaster play. The Sicilian used to be like the most popular, and now it's the top players are shifting to e5 because it's more correct, essentially. Computer engines are just proving that, So c5. We have some kind of Vienna variation here, it appears. Rather sharp Queen's Gambit, which would suit his style. Now g5 I've never seen. That looks wrong. And he takes d5. I'm in a totally alien sort of position here. I believe in white's game, but I can't just ignore this threat. So what's the best way to protect? Queen b3, rook c1, or both? Got to do something here. Very radical, ultra violent opening by black. I mean, it doesn't look really correct playing g5. Hard to imagine the white did something wrong. Then he just plays knight c6, which I didn't expect. I'm expecting like queen a5, but this is more of a developing move. e4. Some sort of intermezzo is planned here. I mean, e3 seems safer for white, but then what do I do? It's also passive. I guess a3 makes some sense. e4. Knight takes, pawn takes, bishop a3. Alright, let's go for it. Try to call his bluff here. He also has this move. I just wrote that off as unclear. Maybe e4 was asking too much. So I like e4, e5 to answer the question. Exchange sacrifices. D takes c. D takes c. That looks kind of cool. Like a cool idea. You could try it just for fun. This is getting a little bit too frisky, though. But I like the fact that we're playing a sacrificial line against an aggressive player who likes the initiative. You know, it's justified by his messed up king side, I think. Maybe he shouldn't even take the exchange. He should just play like bishop takes c5 or something. That's probably the downside. He can just do this, you know. Is the Sicilian easier for beginner? No. I mean, I think that playing the Sicilian and playing something hyper-modern is harder. Yeah, he doesn't want it. Yeah, that's a very sensible decision by Saul here. I should start attacking him with like h4. You could go h4. He doesn't like losing the initiative, you know, so he's going to be reticent to take this exchange. But he could just recapture on c5. I've got some attacking chances on the king side. He actually should just trade queens, but he doesn't like to trade queens. So we're kind of taking advantage of that factor, maybe a little bit. He did take the exchange. The nice thing about this is that his king side is really opened up. I've also got bishop d6, which is great. Very strong compensation. I mean, this is probably a winning position for white. Probably. e5 is interesting. H takes g. Yeah, he can't just hang his h-pawn. His take back with the f-pawn. I mean, he can sacrifice it if you want to. All right, cool game. With the bishop on d6, I think we have full compensation. Very strong attacking chances for white. All our pieces are in the game except for the bishop on f1. Now e5 is definitely possible. But it might not be enough because he just trades that guy off. No, knight e5, knight e5 there. So what do we want to do? Maybe bishop d3. I mean, I really want to just blow him away. But I don't see a way to do it. Just don't see a way to do it really directly. Bishop e6 keeps some pressure on. Bishop c4, excuse me, put some pressure on him. But we need more than that. You know, we really need something a little faster here. Maybe rook h5, attacking. I'm stalling Saul. Trying to play like him. I mean, I'm capable of it. I do like sacrificial games, but I try to play correctly on the stream, you know. It's hard to teach this style of play that I'm using in this game without people getting crazy, you know. It takes a lot to judge whether you can sacrifice an exchange or something like this. This bishop on d6 is worth a rook, basically, justifying my material investment. It may appear that way. We have very strong attacking chances. e5 is possible. I mean, this comment that the rook h5 doesn't do anything, it absolutely does something. I mean, it puts pressure on g5. It allows for e5 possibilities. It's a very normal move. Rook h6 might also be good, you know, actually. It's not to say that like rook h5 is the best move. It's just, it's a move that makes some sense. This move seems impulsive. He played knight e5. So I think his plan will be, you know, to try to hide out with his king, as mine is as well. There's another point of rook h5 that allows me to double on the h file. Right. So it doesn't do nothing. It's actually really dangerous for black. I mean, all my pieces are in the game. And I'm threatening, at the moment, I mean, rook h8 check, rook f8, and mate. Most likely a mate. Actually, rook h8, queen h5 check first, probably. And then rook f8. He's in a lot of trouble here. He shouldn't. The bishop e5 might have hung my d3, like bishop in some position. I don't know. It's not resignable, I don't think. I think he's still hanging on. But I'm not sure. My instinct is that I'm winning, but it's not that simple. Probably I'm winning. Oh, he got mated? No. Nope. We got rook h6. He's threatening stuff too. That's a tricky move. So I got to defend against the threat first. He bought himself a little bit of time there, but I'm not sure that objectively it changes anything dramatically. Maybe it does, though. How do I increase the pressure here? Ah, queen h2. That's the key. We need this. We need this idea. And now g3. G3 doesn't work. We have other ways of doing this. He's still hanging on. He's happily hanging on. All right, now this is really irritating. He's going to survive into an ending, presumably. This move I did not foresee. Oh man, what am I doing? Oh, he's just playing for time now. Some off-colored bishop. I don't have a choice here. But we're winning. Whew, that was a close one. All right. Crazy game. So we got Saul out of the way. I was winning earlier, apparently. Is that Nefedov? Let's see Nefedov. Nefedov, welcome. We're just taking all challenges here, guys. That was a crazy game. I have no idea of the soundness. I'm very lucky not to have lost yet today. This is a new player. He's got 40 games rapid. I hope he hasn't won them all. Let's see. If he's like won all of his games, I guess we could just resign now. He's not undefeated, okay. Brand new account. You definitely don't want to see someone who's like 40-0. That's not a good sign. Plays the semi-Slav. That's not a good sign. No, he plays the... Actually, he doesn't. He plays the Cambridge Springs. Okay, that's more rare. And he plays this, which is even more rare. Considered to be like slightly inaccurate variation for black. But I don't think that it's that bad. It's like it's kind of solid but passive to play bishop e7 here. I think that h6 might still be a line. Kramnik played something similar to this. Now I guess we're playing this very standard variation I've had like with a million people. He's used like no time at all. Instead of bishop e7, you're supposed to play bishop e4. As far as I know. But I don't understand which moment I missed bishop takes e5. I definitely missed it. It was a strong move at one point. So knight e4. Am I supposed to play knight e4? Knight takes e4, bishop takes e7. Knight takes f2. Bishop takes d8. Knight takes d1. Is that right? That doesn't seem right. I like this guy. He's used no time. He'll be like perfect. He takes f2. Can I do that? Yeah, bishop takes h7. Check there. He's used 0 time. It's like his first blitz game. Okay. f5. Wow, that's a crazy move. It's also strange that an account that's played only rapid games would be so fast. Why doesn't he play blitz? All right. Anyway, stupid question. It's a new account. That's why. f5, very radically aggressive. Wow. So that's like not what I expected. He's actually taking some time now. f5. You would think like he'd have just some solid move here. He can't play c5. But e5 is possible. Now he has c5. Maybe that's like best according to the computer or something. I have no idea. Most humans would be reticent to play f5. I can tell you that for 100% certain. I certainly would be reticent to play this move. If it's like an engine or something, it has no feeling, you know. Doesn't care that it's like scary to play that move. I'm just speculating. Anytime I play someone new who has like 40 games, I mean, I have no idea if I'm playing a human or a computer here. I could sack the exchange again. It just doesn't seem sound. So this is entering like the twilight zone now. Yeah, very quick moves. Maybe just an impulsive human, but he's also very good. Very likely it could be a computer. No way of telling really at this point. He's got tactics based on rook takes f3 or something like that. It's also super fast. Possible to be this fast while cheating? Are you kidding me? Like, people cheat in Bullet. Like, of course. I mean, people cheat in 1 minute chess with computers. It's like my grandmom could, like, and she's not even alive. She could cheat in like 5 + 3. I mean, There's just no way to know. I like to have people who are like 100 games in order to play them. This guy's got 40 games. It was against my better judgment to take this challenge. But anyway, whatever. So here we go. A queen sacrifice. Check this out. What is that? I instantly played, dude. That's weird. I can't take on b4. He just wins a rook, you know. Very much in danger here. I need to get that pawn somehow. Rook e3, perhaps. There's going to be a problem with that, though. Does I have to play like queen d2? Well, queen d2 is a good move. At least for the time being, but I think he's still winning. Feels very computery. Black's play. Extremely computery. The time usage is weird, too. I wouldn't trust this guy. We can't make a judgment based on one game, but the instant like b2, he's still winning here with this passed pawn down on b2. It's probably just winning position. It's just that it pisses me off that I waste time when I play computers. You know, I really wanna like, you know, look at this move, rook e8. That's like computer number 1. Yeah, all right, dude. I'm just gonna resign this. I think this is probably a computer, almost certainly. Like, we'll see. How many center pawn lost do you have there for black? It's like almost definite. 40 moves. I mean 40 games. See, like center pawn lost for black here. Like no inaccuracies, no mistakes, no blunders. He's got one mistake apparently. I don't know, dude. 2 mistakes. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just so paranoid, that's why I shouldn't even play. Apparently I was better after queen c2. Wow. So queen d2 is a blunder. Man, I am paranoid, but there's no way of knowing. I don't want to play people who have like less than 100 games. I'm just like convinced I'm playing a computer, whether I am or not. Alright. No way of knowing. It looks like after queen c2, according to the engine, I was better, so probably he isn't a computer, but it's just so hard being paranoid that you're playing a computer every game. It's hard for me to play my best. So, alright, this is a Rogozin variation. The real Rogozin. Last time against s4, it was totally different. Knight c6 here. Yaneza, I know the players that are, you know, people I've played before, and I feel like I can play my normal game. But there, I was just freaked out. Okay, we've got to play e3. What is that? Merle Dixon, that link you put in there? Castles. Bishop d2, standard stuff. This is not really a variation that's particularly bad for black, but queen a4, I just like playing. It's easy to play. This is a good move. Rook e8 here. So, all right, let's try something interesting. Rook d1. I'm trying to generate pressure down the d file. Plays a6 quickly. I always have to save, you know, this queen from exposure out on a4. Yeah, queen c2 I didn't even consider. I'm just too paranoid. I can't accept challenges with people like less than 100 games because I'll just freak out. I wanted to play him, but I couldn't stop thinking that it might be a computer. b6. When he played the instant move like b2 or whatever, I was totally freaked out. I thought this has to be an engine when he made that move. Okay, I've got to make a decision here at some point. This is a bit of a weird plan, like a6, b6 for black. Probably that's not right. Although exchanging on d5 would open up his bishop on this diagonal. He has other tactical problems. Probably I should just keep the tension. Maybe play h3, and if he plays bishop b7, then I would exchange on d5. Yeah. Now we're going to take on d5. h3 is a useful waiting move. Thank you guys for your support. Merle Dixon donating bits today. He's up to the bit leader for the week, 701. Guys, I will be doing a simul on Sunday. It'll be 4:30 p.m. EDT here on lichess. 25 players, 40/40 time control. The simul takes about, well, actually I should think about taking with the pawn here. The simul takes about 3 hours to play, guys, on Sunday. So if you want to play, make sure you can play the whole game. So your game was completely won by white since the move 14. Wow. Well, at least when I'm playing Saul, I know he's human, and even though it gets crazy, I'm like, okay, I've got a chance, you know. When I'm paired with a new player who's like 2308 with 40 games, I'm like, okay, this is probably an engine. Queen d5, this was not what I expected. He's setting up stuff on the long diagonal. But, alright, I'm not even castled yet. Got a very strong center. But Yaneza is an interesting player. I don't know them too much. We have a good score, but they played some interesting games against me. Bishop d3 may well be a mistake. May well be a serious mistake by me. Man. Yeah, I think this is like a Chigorin or something for black. Like a good Chigorin. I think I really up to screwed here. On Sunday, I play 25 player simul. Man, I messed this up. We are in retreat mode now. I basically lost a very vital tempo in this game. Now I don't know what to do. Brilliant. Brilliant by black. Bishop b7 and the whole diagonal works. Darn. I can't castle, lose a piece. Taking on e5. It's pretty bad. He's got all sorts of tactics with in-between moves. D takes e5, knight takes e5, knight takes e5, queen takes g2, for example. That's terrible for me. So I have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe c4, queen d6, d5. c4, queen d6, d5, e4. That's the problem. And then I take on c6, he takes on d3. And I've got no computer moves. Now this is a big problem. This is a really big problem. I'm seriously screwed here. I probably shouldn't have played. Yeah, because of e4. This is the whole point, which I didn't mention. But e4, d takes e. You know, that's why I'm totally screwed, in other words. Similar thing happened to me the other day with the game. Alright, we'll try this. This is terrible for me. Pin City? Who is Pin City? A Pin City never misses a pin. Okay. He pointed out the pin. Because I didn't castle. Yeah, we're in a world of hurt now. I'm looking for a bailout. Try to survive this disaster. I don't think we know much about Yaneza. They played us about 8 games. But we have a good score. But last game against Yaneza was really tough, if I remember correctly. We've got a big problem now. d5, e4. What am I going to do? c5 is possible. Hey, maybe this is a good move. Disrupting his queen. driven the queen back, and if queen d5, bishop c4. So he has to decide, like here, here. He takes that way. I think that's a mistake because I can take now, and suddenly like the whole position's okay for me. I mean, the d file opens up. He doesn't have time to do forks. This is a totally different situation now. I can play bishop c4, whereas before I didn't have that move. I had like the passive back here. Now I can play bishop c4. And like white went from a bad position to a pretty good one in one move. He didn't need to play b takes c though. I mean, that was kind of a mistake. Well, c5 was probably a good move. Pin City. We have another move for you, if you're interested. All right, no computers. That other guy that I played, you know, maybe he's legit, but I just will not take anybody less than 100 games anymore. That is a fixed rule. This is the last time. I'm not going to like be in doubt as to whether my opponent is human or not. I don't want to feel like that. That's the last time. I always say this, but people challenge me with 40 games. It's not happening. You got to have at least 100 games, and I'm going to accept a challenge. I don't want to waste time potentially playing people's computers. So bishop c4, and we've got pressure on f7, and then obviously there's no queen takes c5 because the bishop takes f7. Panda likes the h4 here, but I think that's a little crazy. Panda's here. Hey, what's up? How about h4? The h4a. No, not here, not here. Let's be sensible, all right? Let's be sensible. So maybe bishop c3, but then I lose a pawn. All right, I'm going to lose on time. Bishop e3, just guarding my pawn. I was looking at knight d4. This is a common idea, but I don't think he can do that. I'm just going to castle. He's got really nice centralized pieces. e4, knight h2, I guess. Maybe black is better now. I could sack a pawn with like knight d4, knight takes d4, pawn takes d4, possibly. And c6 or something. Sack a pawn for my bishop pair to open up. That's actually really interesting. But this is the thing that could get dangerous. Plus I have no time. He really only has e4, like there's nothing else. What type of art is just some ocean stuff? What's the difference between 99 and 100? Not too much, man. You do the math. So Castles, where is his time going? He's as bad as me. Right, and now, okay, knight h2 is uber passive. But, I mean, I don't know what else to do. The sacking the pawn was dangerous. Now he goes there anyway. Okay. He has no real threats. Bishop c8 is passive, although he's attacking my h3. See, this is his, like, point. He's trying to... And this is crazy by me, but whatever. He's in a pin now. Where's the pin master? Pin to rest. Our bishops are starting to do something now. Ah, yes. That's a good move. Everything is protected, thankfully. I thought I missed a tactic, but I didn't. That guy's got to go. He's a bad hombre. That knight was a bad hombre. Seriously. c6, what should I do here? Screw it, I'm going back. Man, this is a little risky, but alright, I knew he would play it safe there. It's basically equal. An itty-bitty advantage because my pawns are not isolated. Well, what pawns there are, anyway. Man, that sucks. I just dropped a pawn. Now I'm just like worse trying to hold a draw. It's probably drawable for white, but and it's another draw. A lot of draws today. If I can even hold it. It is probably a draw objectively, this position. Check. Now it's definitely a draw. He could lose it, but that's a good move. That's a good move too. Got to give him credit for g5. This is going to be hard for me to win. There are ways it could happen though. Let's calculate this now. Rook takes, pawn takes. King f6. I mean, I'm not even sure I'm better there. What's happening here? This was a crazy idea. He should have traded and played king f6, king e6, king d5. I think he's better there. Now we're torturing. Playing for torture. He dropped a pawn. Oh, now it's winning. Man, we were lucky in this one. Kind of a cheap victory. Cheap victory for me. Do not stalemate. That's a good move. All right, guys, we're gonna take it down. But I want to see if I just bluffed him. I think that I might even be worse. I might even be losing after rook d4. Yeah. I was thinking just king f6 here. King f6, king e6, king d5. But apparently that's a draw. I have f4. I was surprised by this variation. I didn't think I was losing this. I must have miscalculated this. How about... Man, I actually played a losing move to win the game. I mean, that's ridiculous. For some reason, I thought this would be okay for me. I don't know what I was thinking. Man, I'm just totally lost. That's weird. You think like having a pass pawn would be an advantage. Alright, don't do what I do. Alright, Haberbaum is up. I'm always black against Haberbaum. What's up with that, man? I'm always black against you. Doesn't it seem like I have like 10 blacks and 3 whites or something? 20 whites, 20 blacks and 2 whites. Okay, guys, it is 12 o'clock. I started at 10, so we're going to be streaming for another 25 minutes. All right, we don't have Haberbaum. He seems to be missing. We'll give him another minute. 30 seconds to show up, but busy. We're busy here. Haberbaum left the building. They have to have exactly 100 games. I'm not going to play people who have 110 games, or I just want to know you have a legitimate account. All right, dude. Haberbaum is not here. We are boarding the game. I'm going to play Tamale. So, what's up, Sol? Soltigo? Where's Soltigo? Soltigo. Tamale's 1376. Pretty capable 1376 though. I'm streaming from East Coast, USA. I also live in Hungary for most of the year, but I'm in the US for the summer. So most of my streams during the course of the year are from Budapest. Totally different time zone, obviously, 6 hours ahead. We're doing 5 streams a week right now. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Simul on Sunday, guys. I want to just warn everybody that next week I'm actually going to be on vacation for 3 days. So next week we have Monday, but there's no Tuesday and Thursday. Bishop e5. I call this the computer variation because a lot of engines like to play that move without their opening book turned on. It's actually not a move that's very popular at the... It's not a move that's very popular at the master level. It's strangely good. It's a pretty good line. Tamale, have you played this against me before? A lot of people do this, and it's very frustrating to play against this stuff. When I take with the B pawn, the situation is kind of awkward because my bishop doesn't really have a good place to go. This is very safe. My concern here is that white has, good drawing chances with the number of pieces being traded so early. We've got 2 sets of pieces being traded very, very early. It's a strange line. I guess white is better here, and I don't want to accept it. G6, though. I mean, any sort of E5 pawn sacrifice, I'll try to take it and hold on to it at this point. But he might be able to force it through. I mean, if it's supported by the pieces. He can break my pawn structure. So that's the question there. He's trying to get it. Trying to get the E5 in. There's also alternative plans for him, probably. So bishop G7, though. I mean, if E5, I take it, and then that pawn's going to fall. I don't think he can play E5 here. I'll trade queens and play like knight G4, and that pawn will fall. So we're developing and avoiding any kind of tricks. I can play castles. If bishop E3, rook B8, another interesting move. Going down this diagonal here. What's up, everybody? Pin City. I've got time for like 2 more games. Tamale. The hot tamale. Rook B1. Very safe move. Preempting the defense of this pawn on B2. I don't see any tactics for black. I just want to develop. He can now play safely like bishop E3. And the position is equal, objectively, I think. Black is not better. Rook B1, very safe move. Now B4 is sort of, I would call it agricultural. Extremely aggressive move. I mean, normally you would see white playing like B3, just kind of hanging out. But he makes this into turns this into an aggressive plan. The knight is unprotected on C3. That seems kind of weird in a way. But this could be like brilliant. He's playing like B5 to undermine the D5 square ultimately. Still, his pawns are, he's made more pawn moves than me, hasn't he? E4, F4. Maybe not, actually. I played C5, D6, G6. Who's got more pawn moves here? D4, E4, F4. Queen check. Anybody? Doesn't really do anything. He's strong for a 1300. Got some interesting ideas. What's up, guys? What is that behind me? It's a blowfish, man. That's our Master Fugu. Master Fugu is a blowfish. It's a sea theme. You know, I'm near the ocean here. This is like boats Chinese junks and stuff like that. And there's like palm trees and shells and the blowfish. So I think this pawn here is, you know, going to be hard for him to keep protected. That's the basic premise anyway. That was my hope. I can play queen takes d4, but now he's going to get access to the d5 square, potentially. Though on the other hand, he still hasn't recaptured this pawn on b5. So this seems a little crazy for white to play like this plan and then embark on a different plan with e5. Now exchanging probably helps me because my rook will enable me to control d5. And I also have access to g4 now. So I think he's going to, unfortunately for him, end up a pawn down. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't here. He's already a pawn down. He's going to get one. I'm going to get one. So we just remain the same, you know, with one pawn down for white. He kind of got two plans. You know, he got on one plan, then he didn't complete the plan. If he just recaptures on b5. But I think it was kind of interesting to play b4, b5, but not the normal approach. Could you bring the pufferfish closer? The pufferfish is like frozen in time. This is. He's getting bigger. We call him Master Fugu. Extremely deadly. I'm going to put him aside now as we try to concentrate on the game. Play like a blowfish. Bishop takes pawn. We can rip another pawn on h2 if we feel greedy enough. This is hanging. He's going to head for d5, no doubt, on my e7 pawn. So how greedy do I feel in this pawn up position? No, I've got the deadly bishop d4 check, winning the exchange, it looks like. Oh no, this was a purchase. I have actually caught a blowfish in real life, but this one was purchased. Am I doing the right thing by grabbing the exchange here? Does he have any counterplay? Probably not enough. There are some weird things, but I think I'm going to take this. Yeah, he has that move. Master has that move. It was double check, damn it. You have to capture it if it's double check. You didn't know that? So I'm only up a pawn at the end of the day against Tamale. He's 1300, man. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I can't seem to win anything else here. Let's take this this bishop out if we can. He's even got bishop e3 maybe. Am I missing something here? Knight takes e7, no good. So we're just converting this tactical position. Bishop versus knight, very good in the endgame. With pawns on both sides of the board. This a pawn is actually a powerhouse. I want the knight out of here. I did allow knight c6, which was sort of dumb. I didn't really want to let him trade for that. That was a blunder by me. I actually had to be careful. He's winning that pawn. He's going for more. My goodness. I did see this, but I forgot I was dropping my a pawn at the end of the day. I'm still better though. I mean, this is a really, really tough ending for white. Even after dropping my a pawn, all of his pawns are isolated. He has back rank problems. No, this is nasty. Now knight takes, I have bishop c7, winning the a pawn clean. That should be good. with back rank mates, it's really tough for white to hold this. I mean, rook takes was the better try. I got back rank mate and the c2 pawn. It's over. And another back rank mate. All right, man, tough game. Mouse slip Nefedov, Megisto, Pin City. Bring the fish closer to the web camera. Yeah, we did that. All right, I'm spacing out, guys. I'm reading the old chat. Grab the draw. There was bishop e3. I don't think it's a draw, though. Did I miss a better move? Try something different. The Nimzovich defense. Mouse slip, new opponent. I didn't even check if he has 100 games. 7,900. I had the feeling. I had the feeling the mouse slip. With a name like that, you've got to be legit. Yeah. If I don't play someone, there's a reason for it. So d4, d5. This is a variation that I haven't really played before. I mean in Blitz, but I never in a tournament game. I was always playing like d6. I have time for one more game after this. Zeba Live, I skipped him. He plays like a master, so I'm basically expecting to lose. But we'll see. I'll give him one more chance to play. E5 here. I like F6 the best. I don't like it when people are 1700 and they play like they're 2300, you know, FIDE. That's not usually a good sign. F4. Yeah, let's try knight h6. Or dominate tournaments. Like they're 2300. Knight h6. This is totally like really uncharted, these types of positions. Now that I've played knight h6, I'm not sure where I should put my bishop, actually. Maybe on f5. Because on g4, he could just play c3 and that's the end of it. So with this consideration, you want to play against the GMs. No, I want to play against legitimate people who are really GMs and stuff, no problem. I like to play against people who are legit, you know, no problem. I don't want to play against new accounts or accounts that I feel are playing suspiciously. That's all. I don't mind playing stronger players, you know. People often think, oh, I never play strong players. I get those criticisms, but there aren't that many strong players to play on lichess that, you know, want to take part in my stream. And I don't play bullet, which is like basically what everybody plays, so I can't get to play that many title players. Bishop takes d3. I'm not sure it was the right move to bring his queen out like that. Got this idea of going knight g3 here. Very experimental position. The sub 2100. Yeah, it's the sub 2100 title players that bother me. People who are like 1800 but play like 1 cent upon lost games with, you know, almost perfect play. Wow, this guy is actually scaring me. He's 1900 though. I mean, that's legit. He's legit. I've misplayed this position. I have no one to blame but myself. I'm not really sure what's going on, honestly. I feel like I have to play f5, which is really, really ugly. Probably I shouldn't. I wanted to play f5, but it's just I like the way that White played this a lot. I really like the way he played this. Most people have no clue what they're doing when they face this opening. And Mouseslip just went real. He was really like prepared for it. You know, you don't see that very often. I'm only going to play like one more game, guys, so don't bother challenge me. I mean, the temptation to support my knight on e4 there was great. You know, playing f5. Let's say knight on b2, f5, g takes f, e takes f. Knight takes e4. Yeah, I guess I should have played f5. I'm probably going to regret that. He can't take it. If I play that f5, he can't capture on e4. I'll play one last game. Zebo Live left. I was going to play him, but he's gone now. So he played a number of tournaments where he just dominated my rapid tournament like he was a master. And I think that's very, very strange. He was just crushing in this blitz tournament where he's rated like 1800. I mean, that's not really normal. Now, which side should I castle on? You going to Budapest for a tournament? So I live in Budapest most of the year. So I don't need to go there. I mean, I'm not there now. King safety. Let's try to castle on the queen side here. I'm in the US now. I'll be going back to Budapest the end of August. I'm not going to be playing anything that I know of. Man, I like Mouseslip's play though. He's really solid. It's totally equal. The first IM was 80 plus. Wait a minute. So, what are you guys talking about, JCS? The first IM on lichess? Or what the first IM of all time? It's difficult for people so old to play online. You'd be surprised, man. I mean, there are some older players in their 70s and even probably in their 80s who do play. I knew some Hungarian masters around 80 who still play. Are you guys talking about someone specific? Slemon is back. I see you accepted my challenge while I was gone. Apologize for not being able to play. I was eating dinner. Alright, we'll take that last game. This is really a long game, man. H6. He's trading off my dark square bishop. This was excellently played by White. I missed the tactic there. I'm sleepy. And I'm just winning with rook takes f3. It was really bad not to see that. Not really alert. Alright, how long did I have that move? Yeah, he saw it now. That's inexcusable. Inexcusable. Paying too much attention to the chat there. Alright. Oh, Mag Mercerin. Okay, this is the guy who was in Fisher's, like my 50 memorable games. With the King's Indian attack game he lost. It's a Mongolian guy, right? Alright guys, one last game. White's only problem is the clock here. He's worse than me. He's 2000 rapid. You know, I can feel the solidity of White's play. He's very tough. He allowed that tactic though. So he's not perfect. I didn't see it. Very solid now for White again. I missed my chance. I have knight b4 though. This just feels like a cheapo. But I thought I can steal his queen's thunder in this position here. Queen g6. And I'm not winning anything. But I think that I'm just like, you know, forcing him to an awkward position, basically. Forcing his queen to an inferior position. Over there on b3 where it's sort of out of play. You could argue. What to do next? I don't know if he's going to play c4. Wow. That's extremely aggressive. Huh. Nice move. I'm way too sleepy to play anymore, guys. I'm like falling asleep. Mousehip is going to turn out to be a really good increment player based on his time usage. I missed that terribly obvious tactic earlier. I should probably call it quits after that. After not seeing rook takes f3, I'm not really qualified to keep playing. This is just like equal. I almost blundered again. Now he's better. He's aggro. Getting very aggressive. d5. Whoa. I believe in the solidness of my position here. So you got to check there. This is a funny move. Doesn't really do anything. I'm just having fun. Guys, please support the stream with donations via PayPal. You can even donate bits, obviously, here on Twitch. Try to get as active as I can. He's not letting me do anything. Man, this is not fun. Mouse slip really tough. If he trades queens, he's going to drift into a worse ending. That's the key idea. So actually, my king should have stayed where it was in the first place. My king never should have left the king side. I should have been castled king side instead of castling queen side, basically. He is tough, man. Giving me anything. This is just a draw, I guess. He could lose it based on time. My king getting active in this ending now. I think black is better. Kind of up to screwed. Not sure if this is really a safe idea. So far, Mousehip is adapted, to pretty much every position really well. It's a really long game, man. Finally dropped a piece. All right, guys, last game. I'm gonna play this game with Haberbaum. He was on earlier. He missed his challenge. I will see you guys later. Last one for today. Thank you so much. Sorry to cut you off there, Nefidab, but I've got to go, man. I'm exhausted. I'm just dropping pieces. So it was a long morning. I had a couple lessons before the stream. Thanks so much, guys, for watching and playing. Let's play a fianchetto system here against Haberbaum. I normally am playing bishop g5 type of Smyslov. I want to thank everybody, especially our moderator, Mr. Soltigo. Haberbaum going c5, so transposing to an English. Hey, what's up, Move 11? Did we have this before, Haberbaum? This variation, I played bishop g5 against you? That was against Nefidov. Well, you can't do it now. I mean, knight c6 is a pawn sack. Okay, that's actually coming back into fashion. This pawn sacrifice, knight c6. So this move order is considered like slightly inaccurate for black. How's it going, Move 11? Are you playing this weekend? Thank you, guys. Thanks. And the panda says thanks. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Sunday. Sunday simul, 4:30 EDT, 25 players, 40-40 time control. And don't play unless you have 3 hours to play, okay? See you then. Bye. So Ponda is out. Haberbomb using too much time here. Move. Too much time. 20% of your time on one move. Bad enough for me as a streamer. Thanks for the further defeat. S4, fun game. I enjoyed beating you. You have the under 24 5 games, 90-30 this weekend. I keep thinking it's like weekend already. But Haberbomb just like dropped his B7 pawn. Jakob Attila, a Hungarian I am, used the phrase, long think, wrong think. He just dropped a piece. Sometimes thinking a long time just messes with your head. So you end up losing. He lost the whole rook. No excuse, it's not morning there. He's still digesting his food. That's his problem. I caught him while he was digesting. This was a bad game. Very bad. Just down a piece. Ponda would love it. H5. Desperation. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I will be back on Sunday. And next week, just don't forget, we have a stream on Monday. My Tuesday and Thursday streams for next week are canceled due to vacation time for me. So I'm taking a couple days off, Tuesday through Thursday. And we'll be back on Friday. So Monday and Friday are normal next week. Just no Tuesday, Thursday. Make a note of that, Soltigo. I didn't even notify my moderator about it yet. All right, where are we going? We'll just go back. C2. Best of luck, move 11 to the under 2400. Nice. That should be a good tournament for you. Hopefully you don't get paired down. But you get paired up every round, or at least, you know, not significantly paired down. And play some strong players. So that's under 2400 US rating, move 11. It's not FIDE. Or is it FIDE? I feel like I have brain freeze. Didn't eat enough this morning. Gonna grab some lunch, guys. Fugu. Haberbomb trying to get a little active, but this is a big mistake. You got to take with the pawn. Not to give me some key squares here, I think. Giving me the white squares, particularly E4 and G4, is going to make it easier for me to kind of free myself and trade pieces and just simplify this to a win. It is decisive advantage now. Would help to bring my extra rook in the game. My over-the-board rating, my USCF, all my ratings have dropped. My USCF has dropped to like 2440, 2444, or something like that. So I'm like 75 points off my peak in both rating. Actually, I'm way more. My USCF is 75 points off my best, and I think my FIDE is like, whew. My FIDE is like 100 and something points off my best. So we're in bad shape. But the messed up thing about the USCF rating was that they were like altering my rating for a long time based on like rating it according to FIDE tournaments, which is totally bogus. The idea of like rating USCF foreign tournaments is like obscene. Whoever came up with that idea was like Fabiano Caruana's dad. They wanted to help Fabiano like increase his rating or whatever. So the USCF adopted a policy based on the advice of Caruana's dad to rate foreign events for USCF players. This was a long time ago. Very, very logical policy. I'm like, my USCF rating is changing based on games in foreign countries where my opponents aren't even members of the U.S. Chess Federation. Makes a lot of sense. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you later. So Sunday Simul, 4:30 EDT. We'll see you guys here. And thanks again to Soltigo and all of you guys for subscribing. Interesting games. I will see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.